On Second Shot, we tackle 2 new headlines every week to find out what kind of wisdom the world is dishing out today. And we want you to be a part of that. When you see a headline you want to take a second shot at, or if you're looking for advice, or just want to tell us what you think of the show, email us at secondshotcast@gmail.com. If you like what you hear, rate us on iTunes. This helps us move up in the ratings so more people will see us. And if you want to hear more, subscribe to the show so that the new episodes will get straight to you every single Friday. We love you. Thanks for listening and enjoy.
There's a lot of news in the world today.
News that might surprise you, startle you, upset, or maybe impress.
News that's not always for the faint of heart.
That's why the man who failed his way to success, Heath Oakes, is stepping up.
Tackling today's headlines with ignorance on fire in a way only a millennial mogul can.
Take off your sport coat, grab a beer, and enjoy the conversation.
This is Second Shot with your host, Heath Oakes.
Hey Chris, we were talking about it the other day. Welcome to my learning farm. We have much to show you. I'm sure you have tons of great kid songs that stick in your head from all the toys, right?
Oh yeah.
You have to. I mean, because that one is because Biden pushes that button on that toy all the time and is nonstop welcome to the learning farm.
Yeah.
Like it's like that, the House School of Rock back in the day, the learning farm. You've got to have tons of them engraved with your football team.
Yeah, with me, it's like, when having 4 kids, people want to give you all their hand-me-down toys, and it's always the ones that make the most noise. You're like, please, I'll throw these away. Keep them out of here.
So welcome back to the show, Chris.
Thank
for
you.
Another episode here. We got Zach and Matt hot on the mic. Man,
Hello,
Matt. That's messing me up today. For
Mike
some
and
reason.
Matt on the mic.
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
I like
that's
it.
a good little saying. That's what you ought to be. That's what ought to be your Twitter.
Why didn't
logo.
I ever use that in my
Matt
days
on
in
the mic.
radio?
Your Twitter handle should be that.
I guarantee some idiot's already got that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's probably taken.
You could be the better idiot.
That's true. I could be the real Matt on the mic.
The real
right.
with the blue check mark.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna be on that level where you get the blue check mark.
Yeah.
That'd be
Doesn't
cool.
Jenny have the blue check mark?
Oh yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, she's got lots.
What do you got, fill out an application for that?
Yeah,
Or
what's-
No, it's just when you get so many.
Oh,
Gotcha.
you have to have a certain amount of followers.
Yeah, she has hundreds of thousands.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
there is like a verification process.
Oh
right?
yeah, when
Like
that happens,
have to
Once you
be
get
who you
so
are.
many followers, then they send you the deal, and they basically lock you out of your account until you can provide your driver's license and all that stuff proving who you are, and then they give you the blue check mark.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
scam. Do you have to pay
Yeah.
for
It
it?
sounds like a scam.
Oh no,
You
not
don't
at
pay
all.
for it?
No, you don't pay for it. They when you have so many followers, I think it's part of them regulating that you are what and
Right.
who
You
you
are who
say
you
you
say
are.
you are, yeah.
Because then you're somebody that obviously has enough of a reach that it matters. I guess. I don't know.
You're an influencer, Matt.
Yeah,
That's what you are.
That's what those are called. I've heard that word being thrown.
Yeah.
Influencer.
So what we got on this first one, Zach?
Yeah, the first headline for today, you sent me this, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about the Gronk, but I think a
Zach
lot of
doesn't know
people do.
jack about football.
I don't know a lot about football. It's true. It's
okay.
Gronk considering retirement to pursue acting career. Rob Gronkowski was surprisingly non-committal when he asked after the Super Bowl if he would return to the New England Patriots in 2018. When he was asked, According to a report from local Massachusetts newspaper, the Eagle Tribune, Gronkowski is thinking about giving up football to pursue a career in acting. Gronk has supposedly spoken with Hollywood legends Sylvester Stallone and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who told him they believe he could make millions if he starred in action films.
Well, first of all, Gronk is a personality, okay? Gronk is the tight end for the Patriots, and he is probably the number 1 tight end in the entire league.
Sure.
So super successful at his deal. So, honestly, if you think about it, I don't know if I'd want to blame too much. I mean, he's a young guy who still, he has had a lot of injuries. He makes a ton of money. He's won the Super Bowls. Even at this point, he could probably even get in the Hall of Fame with the career to this point as good as it's been. He's going to be on the edge of it. But going into the movie stuff be a lot less impactful on your body, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's ready for that. He's still young.
Yeah, thinking about, I think Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels this past Super Bowl, which, by the way, go Eagles. God bless. I'm so glad.
I'm so glad the Patriots didn't win.
Sneaking on the Eagles. Isn't everybody? I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
I'm such a fan of Doug Peterson and the
Yeah,
whole
I do like Doug
system
Peterson.
work.
I'm not even a football guy, and I know I shouldn't like the Patriots.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fan of Doug Peterson because he played backup to Brett Favre.
Yes.
It's like
he was Brett Favre's backup
Heath's like, I would play third string to Brett Favre and live my life as a legend. But
all day. I would go if Brett Favre would let me go on his farm and pick trash up all day to get to say hi to him. I'd do it.
Yeah. Every day
Every day.
for a quarter.
I mean, it's
For
a
a
lot
long
coming
time.
from you.
I would.
You're an author. You're an entrepreneur. Yeah.
I want to meet Brett.
Yeah, but back to the point is talking about Gronkowski and his acting career. I think Chris Collinsworth said it. He does a pretty good bit of acting. He knows how to buy a foul. He knows how to buy
That's part of it, right?
Part of some deal. I mean, it is like it's full on body commitment when he falls to the turf for no reason at all.
Oh, I get it. That's a football
Yeah,
joke.
yeah,
I
he's
see.
making
Yeah.
fun of him for flopping and all that.
Yeah, it's a full body commitment there. So
You know what I thought about on this though? My second shot was purely it's never too late to jump into what you want to do. Like it's never like you're never at a spot where you can't go, well, I'm too old. Well, I've already had my deal. You're not. I mean, you and I both know in our business we've got people that are 70 years old that were retired engineers that wanted to get back into work and recreating a second career with even something we do. And I think at times that a lot of people will stop themselves from doing the things that they want to do because they think, well, I'm already past my prime. I'm already past that. I'm already past this, and I, I'm too old, or I'm too this, or I'm too young, right? I mean, even at that point. But you look at a lot of people as know when to walk away and know the next thing is a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I think being able to walk away and maybe for him it's like at a stage in his life where he still has a quality of life left. And I know football's obviously the subject at hand, and there's so many things that go on with the concussion protocols, and I've got a theory that they like literally band-aided that guy back together to put him in the Super Bowl.
He looks like it. He looks like it on the field with all the pads.
Yeah, I got a rundown here. Yeah, with a concussion that knocked him out of the AFC Championship game, Gronkowski has now suffered just about every significant injury a football player can have. Torn ACL, broken his arm, undergone back surgery on 3 different occasions since college. That is extreme.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what to do when to make the last call? When do you know when to make the move? When do you know that and do you believe you're at ever some point where it's too far gone?
Yeah. If Sylvester Stallone said it, then absolutely you should do
Yeah.
it. Part of it's getting a mentor, someone that can bring you in. I mean, clearly, as you were talking about, Zach, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's made a great transition into, a successful acting career. But, I think knowing when to – I mean, to me, if it's my opinion, my health is at risk. That's a pretty good reason to maybe turn and pursue something different. Keep your quality of life in check.
But what about the point of really that just in general? Like I look at it, I think society tells us to stay comfortable and not make it do. If you're listening out there right now, you're not too old, you're not too young to do whatever it is that you want to do. John Mahoney, who died, who was known as the Frasier, the dad of Frasier, right? Yeah. He didn't even start acting until 37 years old. Wow. He got out of college with the Army and everything, had a successful business career, and just went took a couple acting classes, said, I love this, I'm dropping everything and going to do it. Like if you want to do something, you got to go for it. You're not. There's no age that you can't do it. And knowing when that right time to make that leap and stuff is, it. I love when people go, well, I don't know it's the right time. No, you know it. Yeah. You feel it. You feel something deep inside that keeps yearning you and keeps telling you about it and keeps bringing it up that you just got to go.
Yeah. I had so much respect. My wife and I actually had one moment where we grabbed coffee together the other day, and we were sitting there at Starbucks, and there's this gentleman who was probably in his late 60s, and I just leaned over. He had books and computer in front of him, and he was studying because he's taking college courses, and I'm like, man, I just wanted to high five that guy, because you think about people that do a career change or they just want to unravel a new chapter, a new part of who they are at that stage in life. It's like it's unconventional, but why? Why isn't that the norm? Where people just make decisions that are bold and wild and
go for it.
Unconventional and just go for it.
Well, a lot of people would say that as a young married couple with 2 young children that it was a very dumb thing to do, irresponsible you to jump off and start a business you know nothing about it, right? I mean, it's not just dumb, it's irresponsible. You are letting your family down, right? And now your family has 10 times more now than they ever would have there because they actually got their father at home.
That's right.
And financially, it's much better.
Yep. It's all in who you ask for advice from.
Yeah. Are they people you want to take advice from?
That's right.
When it comes down to it. And I think that you've got to take and run with it. You've got to go for it. You can't let that others stop you. And I think the biggest problem, I have a lot of problems with the educational institutional system, but I think that one of the biggest lies is education is something at school and it's over with. You got to continue to educate yourself throughout your life. You got to be reading the books. You got to be trying different things because you're not going to know your passion until you educate yourself. So if I get on the education topic, I won't ever stop, and they'll be grabbing me off of this thing. So we're going to be back here in just a minute with the second segment of Second Shot.
He's a suit and tie kind of guy with deep Southern roots. Heath Oaks hosts more of Second Shot coming up on RNCN.
Hear ye, hear ye. Great news for all of you guys. Colonial Life is hiring some salespeople from all over the country. No matter where you are in the United States of America, if you're looking for a sales career, if you want to just learn more about what Colonial Life does, send an email to mbeltran@coloniallife.com. mbeltran@coloniallife.com. We'll get you set up with the right people you need to talk to and see if you're going to win that job. If you're in the Metroplex area, great. If you're in St. Louis, great. We're going to have office there for you. mbeltran@coloniallife.com and change your career today.
Ready? Aim. Fire. Second Shot is back for another round on RNCN.
So we got a little Twitter account update. I think you Matt. So what we were talking about? Did you look it up?
Yeah, no, you hit me, this Matt on the mic. I was like, yeah, I'm going to jump on that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Of course, I thought, it's probably taken, and it was. This guy joined in March of 2010, Matt on the mic. His last tweet was 24th of July in 2011. He hasn't tweeted in 7 years.
So I wonder if you can go get it from him.
I don't know. He only ever sent 7 tweets, period. He's got 7 followers. He's following 19 people, and his last tweet was a stay-at-home moms make $2,900 weekly, work from home.
All right,
so it was a spam account.
Hey, wait, here you go. Listeners, here's what we're going to do. We're going to see if Matt can actually go follow through and attack something.
Can we get
here.
the Twitter police on
No,
this?
no, you are.
You gotta do it.
So
I
we're going to give all the
reach out to this
listeners
guy.
on this next podcast we do.
Okay.
They're going to have to hear from you an update on your journey of getting that account.
Gotten this account.
All right,
Reach out to this
let me
guy.
write this down. I want to make sure I
Yes,
got
you
this.
write this down, Zach, because this is what we're going to bring up. He's going to have to. I'm going to hold him accountable like I did you of coming to that DJCC event.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
you had better have some concrete.
I'll have
steps.
something. Now I don't know what it's going to be.
No.
but I'll have something.
You got to have the way to get the account. You can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got faith in you.
All right.
Speaking of it, we're going to talk about the eclipse.
The eclipse.
Don't we got another one coming up?
Yeah, believe it or not, Chris pointed this out. I didn't know about this, so shout out to Chris Menard. Best places to watch the 2024 solar eclipse in Texas. I didn't know this was coming up, and I think that's part of the story. On April 8th, 2024, right next to my birthday, shout out to me, some of the best viewing areas for this rare and mesmerizing astronomical event will cut right through the Lone Star State. A total solar eclipse will run nearly straight through the Dallas DFW skies and through the middle half of Texas.
And,
Crazy.
And no ego there, Zach shouting out to himself.
Yeah,
on
settle for
on
Zach.
hot mic.
2024 event will be a unique opportunity for
Zach
Texas
on the
to
mic,
photo
is
scene
that-
and enjoy the path of totality. Yes! I'm out.
So it's going to be the best spot to watch it. And you being in Kentucky, but the last one you were bringing it up. What was it? A town that?
Yeah, it was crazy. You living in Louisville, Kentucky. There's a little town, Hopkinsville, which is in kind of like a southwestern part of Kentucky, and it's a town of like 2,000 people. And of course, we got into it. You do as the Kentuckians do, and we're really come to find out it's like this global phenomenon and this global following. So you have all these people, and I was listening to radio.
Like
and all this.
200,000 people piled in
Yeah,
there.
200,000 people or so.
'Cause it was the best
came-
spot to see it.
It was ground zero, the place of totality. Is that even a thing? But anyway.
Well, we make up words on this show, so
total
it's okay.
totality. If
I
that's
mean, Chris, you know you're on here with me. You know that it can.
I feel like I'm safe saying that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Anyway, total totality. But yeah, 200,000 people came to the city. Like McDonald's were running out of food. Walmarts couldn't hang. Gas stations were out of gas. If you were in the ice business, you were sold out. It was just like mass pandemonium.
Oh, man.
But really,
Chris is like, hey, Heath, how can we capitalize on
Yeah,
Dallas?
right.
2024 is coming. What can we put together to be ahead of this thing?
This
got
is a
time.
buyer's market. That's right. Yeah,
That's
this
right,
is-
man.
It's perfect.
I'm thinking like cheesy T-shirts or solar glasses, something to get on the front wave of this thing. I think of like 200,000 people in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Boy, what it could be in Dallas.
Yeah.
Right.
How much even more is going to be to come there, right?
Jeez, no doubt.
Man, think about trying to. Man, I bet you could rent out patio space at a bar up downtown or
who knows?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then sell out tickets or something. Yeah, you get
Yeah.
way ahead of this. Also, all ideas are property of Second Shot.
Yeah.
Just want to get that out there for anybody thinking about scooping one of these up. We're keeping them. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, and the interesting thing about this is that kind of that capitalizing on stuff that a lot of people, especially in today's world, because in today's world you can see there's a lot more visibility to all kinds of ideas and things to do. And a lot of people talk about, how do I know when the right opportunity to capitalize on, right? Like, how do I know to capitalize on this business opportunity? How do I know to capitalize on that promotion? How do I know when to capitalize on this move or this opportunity or anything like that, right? Like I feel like people struggle a lot with knowing, is this the right move? Should I do it? Should I capitalize on that? And we talk about a lot with your story that you went after and thought. In 2007, you obviously didn't know that the crash was going to hit really hard right after that, but you literally invest everything you got into a magazine company at the absolute, 6 months before the worst recession since the Great Depression almost, right? Yep. It was literally one of the worst decisions you can possibly do. Now, in hindsight,
feel good about it.
In hindsight, right? Obviously, at that time, nobody knows that, right? Like this is now after, and that didn't work out for you, and you lost the money you invested in that and had to go work a job. But then a couple years later, you then walk away again into something you know nothing about and do it again, fresh off of just that with it, right?
Yep.
And I was thinking about it, like, man, if anybody knows talking about capitalizing, but I look back too and go, hey, some people would say, oh, that's a failure. No, life happened for you because that led you to walking in my door, which led you to Colonial Life, to your new insurance career.
Yep.
And everything with it. So when I look back, life happened for you, not against you, and capitalize on it, right? Yep. And it did. Some people would say that's a failure, but it wasn't.
No, certainly wasn't. Yeah, I think about the journey that it's been just in my life. It's like I don't know if there was like a right time for it, but I do think that there are circumstances that certainly lead people to maybe making a decision. So if we're all going to conspire here to figure out how we come get on the front wave of like making solar goggles for this 2024 deal, we probably should start that work now because that's that's a finite date that's coming, right?
Yeah.
But I think of what happens in the person's life that forces them to be ready for an opportunity or capitalize on an opportunity, and sometimes there is no right time. And I think in our world we've got to kind of maintain that perspective. Is that it may not be the right time, or if you're looking for that right time where, hey man, it just feels right. Well, what is that feeling like? What is that feels right to go ahead and do this, right? Sometimes it is a circumstance. Sometimes it is things that you can't control. Sometimes it's, hey, I've gotten to a point in my life where I'm now much more open to hearing about what this opportunity might be. I don't think sometimes it's like in the news and like, hey, Chris, now it's time to do your thing.
Yeah. Did you have any light moment to know when the right jump, like to say, I'm going to make that move at that time that you literally just had your second child? Your wife quit her job at that same time. And so now it's like everything, like if you talk to normal people, they would say, you're being irresponsible. This is not the right thing to do, right? Yep. And then, but you did. Was there a gleaming light that come down and hit you in your head, or
no? The sun and the stars never aligned and said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't walk out of my back patio and see a solar eclipse and go, it's time for me to do this."
Yeah.
Now I know.
He's been saying this all this time. It's time to do this. But I think man, if just get out of your way, and do it. So for me, I think that's maybe the lesson in all this is like, don't wait for that big, huge event.
And don't you think, don't worry about it, because if it looking back, like at the time that magazine ad looked like a failure, but it really wasn't. It led it to everything that now it can, when like Steve Jobs says, you can't connect the dots forward, you can only connect them backwards.
Yep.
Connecting them backwards, the magazine was still a right choice.
I would say it was the best decision I made in my 20s.
Yeah, and how many people would say that something where they lost all their money that that would be it. And see, that's what people don't understand, is that you got to jump off the cliff and grow your wings on the way down.
That's it, baby.
But then you were brave enough to do it again 2 years later with more responsibility on your plate. Even.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I was like, and that's what I give you a lot of props with. And I think too many people aren't confident enough in their own self and their own abilities to attempt those things. And another thing we talked about was, I think a way that you can always tell whether or not it's something you capitalize on, if the person you're talking to can't tell you the negatives and all the bad things, then it's not a good decision. You know, with all these multi-level marketing and all this stuff that this person, if it all sounds too good to be true, it's always too good to be true. Like, that is the most realist thing I can tell you. It's kind of like what my mentor told me. He said, listen, Heath, listen to all opportunities. So instead of like shutting out recruiters that would want to call me about job stuff, I talk to all of them. But he said, you don't have to take them all.
Yeah.
And that's the kicker, is you listen to all opportunities, but it doesn't mean you take them. I've listened to a ton of opportunities, but I had never taken them. The chances of it being greener than what I got it are not good. I love where I'm at, but I'm going to listen and talk to all of them. You don't know what changes.
Yep.
But I can tell you, if you're sitting talking to somebody and they're pitching you this new multi-level marketing deal is going to make you a killing and all these things, and it's all sunshine and roses, run for the hills. I'll tell you that would be a good a good, what's a word, barometer? Is that a barometer?
Barometer.
It's a good measurement of.
Would that work? Yeah, there you go. Okay, see, look, I got a big word I threw out there.
Congratulations, Heath.
Well done.
It's a good barometer is if it's too good to be true. Run for the hills. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. 100% of the time.
I always ask them, what's the downside here? What's the things that can go wrong? And if they can't tell you that, they don't know enough about their stuff. They've been sold by somebody who's told them it's too good to be true.
Yep, they're reading from a script.
So I think the classic thing is that when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. When listen to all opportunities, but it doesn't mean you have to take them all. And number 3 is that if it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. You have to find what things could go wrong. So I think if you take those into account, maybe that can help you on making those right decisions on when the time, kind of to capitalize on a situation or not. So
absolutely.
We'll come back here in a minute. We got a very interesting, kind of a little fired up one here on this last deal that on the third segment of Second Shot, coming right back up.
Now that's what I call ignorance on fire. More of Second Shot with Heath Oaks still to come.
You guys have been listening to Second Shot and hearing us talk about it. You need to go pick up my book, Ignorance on Fire, A Journey of Failing Your Way to Success. You can get it on Amazon in a paper book. You can also hear this beautiful voice of mine in audiobook style on Audible or anywhere you're going to get your audiobooks. Guys, this book took a lot of time to put into it, and I believe it can really be some life-changing stuff to help you on your path to success. And hopefully you're going to fail your way to success just like I did. Ignorance on Fire, A Journey of Failing Your Way to Success. Amazon.com, Audible.com, audiobooks, paper books, everything. Get it, share it with your people, and I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Go pick it up today.
Kick off your boots or suit up. The choice is yours. Welcome back to Second Shot on RNCN.
You know you have like a really, really fancy office when you can't even turn your own AC down, when y'all got to go get maintenance people.
Gotta call
make some
somebody.
famous switch, because like in this studio right now, I'm not going to lie to you, these big lights I got on, it's getting warm. And like this
baking.
dude is
It's
like,
getting
you got to
toasty.
like call technical people to come turn down some AC,
Right.
just flip a little switch, turn it down. Simple.
Yeah, I definitely, when we moved into this office, I found what appears to be a thermostat in the back, and of course it's like tamper-proof. You can't mess
Yeah.
with it. You got to have somebody come
Child
on.
proof.
It
Man.
like hisses at you whenever you try to move
Yeah,
it.
but let me tell you, that casing comes right off, and you can tweak it all you want. I'm like, I'm going to keep that in mind. Yeah, like that's taking advantage of the situation. I got to remember that. Yeah.
Smart man. Now, in the third segment here is when we take, the reader, the listener emails or views or anything. And remember, guys, send us emails with any kind of ideas that you've got, anything you want us to know. We're going to be working on putting a cool little contest coming up together that for our listeners and stuff, and try to bring some real fun in with all of it. But send us anything you got, whether it's you just want to tell us we suck, or you want to tell us that you like it, or you want to just say Chris sucked as a guest,
Yeah, what do you
or
think of
Chris was
Chris?
good. You can always do that. I'll forward it to him, and it can really ruin his day.
They need a more Cajun accent here.
Love it.
But one of our faithful ones, Javier, which I really enjoy Javier. He always has good insight, and he always is a positive guy. I really like Javier. Javier is actually in the insurance business as well.
Oh, very good.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. He followed me on Twitter, Javier. Shout
Yeah.
out, he's a nice guy.
You got into a Nerf battle with him.
I did. Yeah, we had a little bit of a Nerf conversation over
Twitter.
Yeah. Well, I was getting coffee the other day, and I got shot in the head by a Nerf dart by my boss. Believe it or
We
not.
need to carry Nerf. Like, I want to keep a Nerf gun in my office. Wouldn't that be fun?
That's so right.
We got a couple of them here. Yeah,
That's so
and
right.
so I tweeted about it, and he tweeted back, said, "Nerf guns are life." I said, "Hey, Nick, Nerf guns are a good time."
Everything is
And
right
he
about
said,
Nerf
our
guns.
life.
He said, "Tell you what, if I ever happen to make it over to the studio, let's dish it out." I said, "You got it, man. We'll make it happen." So
wife-
that's how this household thing
My wife
started.
can always tell like how mature I am when I get like one of my kids' Nerf guns in my hand. It's like
Sure.
I take it back to like when I'm 13 years old.
You're going hardcore. You're
Oh, man.
like you probably got like face paint on.
Some-
and like
someone
rolling
flipping
around.
tables over.
Someone's running
yeah.
downstairs crying. I just it happens every time. No different than when I was 13 years old.
Oh, I love it. Now, Javier sent us a deal that was interesting. Was he talked about the Newberg report, Jamie Newberg, who's a local attorney. But for the love of game, he's done writing for the Rangers and a newsletter that's basically for free. He does all kinds of posts at the end of the season, then he sells them with awesome pictures. And it's like a really coveted pieces for journalism. Rangers fans really, really like it. He's really got a big following with this little post he does basically
Right,
for
yeah,
free.
big
You know,
Rangers following over there.
but he recently announced that he was going to something else called The Athletic or something. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but basically he got a really great opportunity to go on to another company or to a new blog post or whatever. Yeah,
publication,
whatever.
yeah, sure.
So it was a really good step for him in his career, and it was awesome. And Javier's like, he's getting, Javier said he's really excited for him that he's gotten that opportunity, but yet he's getting hammered online. And there were some really mean, nasty tweets to him about he's disloyal, he's all this and that. And so Javier asked this question. He said, hey, does he owe anyone an explanation? Is this all jealousy? And I realize fans become attached to heroes, but when they make a move, all hell breaks loose. But Jamie doesn't deserve that because he really likes him. He goes, what's your take? And I thought this was really, really interesting. I mean, he sent out a deal explaining, hey, what happened, and he's excited about the new deal, and he got a great opportunity, and people are bashing him.
It was very kind. Yeah, he wasn't bashing anybody and saying, I hate this job or I don't like the fans. It was very much like, I appreciate what we're doing here. Stick around. There's more to come from these guys. I'm going here. You can follow me there. I love this company. Yeah, it was very nice. It was very, yeah.
You know what initially comes to my head too is like, Jamie, you want me to tell you something? This is how you know you're a rock star.
Yeah.
Because if you weren't good, nobody'd be hating on you.
That's true.
And that's so true. Like you need to know, Jamie, I hope that if anything, that if it's getting you down, because these people that just do these trolling online and stuff, they're cowards, they're weak, they're just faceless cowards that like to say whatever they can out there. They won't say it to people's face and own up to it. So you got to understand something. If you weren't doing something good, nobody's hating on you.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, I think whenever I read that article, thinking, man, I got to defend this guy. Like he's making.
And you don't even know who it is, right?
Yeah, and it's like, man, what's the hate coming from? It could be jealousy. It could be a number of different things. But I think about people in my own life that have perhaps quit something, and I've hired maybe hundreds over the last 7 years of even my career, and
thousand probably
maybe
plus thousands.
I've interviewed thousands.
Yeah.
But over the last several years, man, it is personal. When someone leaves, it's like you can't help but take a step back and go, man, was it me? Is there something I could have done? Is there something I could do differently? So it always maybe that self-evaluation piece, but I never take it personally, or try not to.
But I think the ones that do that, they're unhappy with their own lives. They're miserable people that want to make everybody else's life miserable. Because my first thought is, I don't even know the guy. I'd say, good for you.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite quote is, "You can have everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want," by Ziegler. And I know it all sounds corny, and it's like, but I truly try to strive my hardest to do that, and I believe everybody can win. Like in our business is hardcore that a lot of people. Maybe hire some really good managers and leaders, and then they want to keep them down, right? You hear that a lot. They don't want to lose them to something else, get them promoted or any of that because they lose that talent, And, I know that there's a lot of people that will say that kind of quote, but then it's lived out where I've gotten people, putting them in to get jobs like mine that are equal to me, or even higher than me at times, that I lose them and all that, but I gain so much more with it, and everybody does, so everybody can win, and there's enough winning to go around.
Oh yeah. One of the things too I like about the article, when he kind of gave his rebuttal about him leaving, moving on, he gave nothing but praise and compliments to the fans and the people that had followed him, but he also went above and beyond and said, hey, oh, by the way, we're not going away. There's a new guy going to take this piece over. He's going to run with it. He's more than capable. So I think kudos to him for number one, having the courage to do something different, pursuing something that perhaps is better for him, but also having the courage to kind of get out of the way.
Yeah.
So perhaps that's what he's doing here.
Yeah.
And I think the sign of a great leader is just having the comfort of getting out of the way and perhaps letting someone else kind of take the keys to the kingdom for a minute.
And it's a shame to see a situation like this where this writer clearly respects his readership enough to say, hey, listen, I'm going to give you the truth. Here's where I'm at.
Yep.
I love you guys. I hope you come with me. Like, I hope you believe in me in this new direction. It's going to be great. And to get that back from people, I mean, even some of them
listen, be happy. You know what, Jamie? You got to love it. Relish in it.
Yeah.
That means you're good. If nobody's hating on you, you ain't worth a dang. Look, you ain't even got to bleep that out for my pastor. I stopped myself.
Keep that in.
Yeah.
All right. Love it.
I mean, look, here's the thing is, you're a rock star. When you got people hating on you, you're good.
Yeah.
If you don't want people hating on you, don't be good. Yeah. Suck. Go suck some more.
That's a good point.
And you will. And then understand the fact that those people suck at life. They're miserable people that are trying to be miserable on everybody else. I get so sick of the people online that want to hide behind their faceless stuff and post and say whatever they can that think is all hurtful. And it's quicker that you realize and not taking anything personal, realize the people that can say that and do that are people that are miserable.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you should pray for them. You should feel sorry for them that they're in that position, because I truly want people to win. I want everybody to win. I believe we can all win. I believe that if you want to, you can win. I don't hold the secrets back. I mean, I pay to do this show. I don't get paid for this. So, I'm just freely giving anything that I've got with it. You can do that, don't you think?
The great philosopher Taylor Swift said, haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate.
So, in the sense of this, it's, keep going, man. Do your thing, have success, chase it down, be great, move out of the way, give people another chance behind you.
You know what is a good thing to think about, too, is that if you're somebody that catches yourself when somebody around you maybe got a promotion, or somebody else in that you know personally or anything that got something good happen to, and you catch yourself going, oh man, like that person shouldn't have, if you catch yourself doing that, I hope you realize real quick that you stop yourself and go, I'm only mad because I'm miserable.
Yeah.
That's what you got to stop yourself
It's
and do.
selfish of me to
You're
feel
only
that.
mad because you're miserable. You're not mad because there are opportunities. So you've got to change your situation. You got to go do something to put yourself in it to get out of it. I get so sick of that crap. I get so sick of people trying to hold anybody down in general. Like, nothing gets me more pissed off than people holding people back, than people trying to hold on to something for their own gain. I mean, those things are just it's an absolute worst place to be, and you're a human being that is really struggling in life when you have it. But I'm gonna tell you, Jamie, hey, you're doing a good job because people are hating on you. And it's true, right? I mean, if you're doing something good, people are going to come after you.
Yep.
If you're not doing something good, that means you're stirring nothing. You're making nobody question their thoughts. You're making nobody question their beliefs. You're making nobody get uncomfortable. Yep. So if you're not stirring up the pot and got people pissed off at you, then you're not making an impact. Jesus made the biggest impact in the entire world, and he had a lot of people pissed off with him and a lot of people that weren't, right?
Yep.
Because it's going to happen when you're making an impact.
Yeah.
So go out there and make an impact. Go piss some people off. Make some worthless Twitter trolls, go spend their life on telling you how bad you are and that you suck at life when they're really the ones that suck at
You're
life.
going to be really jazzed about this.
Yeah,
I love this.
fired up.
Your pastor's going to be proud there.
Yeah. Chris, where can we find you? Thanks for coming on again, buddy.
Man.
Honestly, thanks for coming on for another show. I appreciate
anytime, Heath. Love to do it again, man. At CE Menard on Instagram, CMENARD at coloniallife.com.
it. And you can find me at Ignorance on Fire at Heath Oaks. And, if you're a Twitter troll out there, then don't do it with me, because you're going to obviously see that I'm on fire back. So I may come pull the
Roy D. Mercer. How big a boy are you?
How big a boy are you? I love Roy D. Mercer. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you for listening.
You're listening to RNCN, the digital destination for premium talk radio.